Hey, Broken World Entertainment, and the Monsterverse is still growing with, of course, Legacy of Monsters Season 2 on its way, and of course, Godzilla X Kong Supernova on the way. And the big question regarding Godzilla X Kong Supernova was, what's the big bad for this one? And there's been a lot of theories, and it's seemingly the theory is now confirmed thanks to a filing for copyright, basically. Which is, yeah, you've already guessed it, because it's another one of those worst kept secrets. SpaceGodzilla. Now, it's not the studio confirming that SpaceGodzilla is the big bad. It's not the director or anything like that, even though we do know two of the actors did kind of hint to it, which I believe we were saying back when that came out that, Legendary are probably going to be super pissed and make them take that down. And I don't think they did make them take it down. So maybe they were fine with the idea being put out there to people that it's going to be SpaceGodzilla to see what the interest would be for SpaceGodzilla. But let's have a look at this, because it is seemingly confirmed via this writer's update, which you'll see what I mean. So it's saying, as expected, it looks like SpaceGodzilla is officially joining the Monsterverse. A newly updated listing on the Writers Guild of America website reveals that Godzilla X Kong Supernova, previously using the working title Zeus, credited Toho's SpaceGodzilla as source material, effectively confirming the iconic kaiju's inclusion in the film. So that's where they're pretty much putting it forward to who was involved and where the kind of inspiration and stuff, what material they used, and it was SpaceGodzilla. So the screenplay, written by David Callahan and Michael Lloyd Green, and with Callahan also credited for the story. Now, he's done some good things, but he's also done two absolute clankers, which were Shang-Chi and Wonder Woman 1984. So he's kind of hit and miss, he really is. So I don't know much about the Michael Lloyd Green dude. So the listing was finalized on November 12th, 2025, and notes the project is based on the characters Godzilla and SpaceGodzilla, created by Toho Limited. This follows previous speculation and social media teases from stars Matthew Modine and Alicia Debenham Carey, who posted what fans believe to be cryptic nods to SpaceGodzilla's appearance, which is what we knew and saw them do. And that was when we were like, ooh, Legendary might get super pissed and make them take that down. And I don't think they did make them take it down, so okay. So fans have long theorized that Supernova refers to a cosmic threat, and SpaceGodzilla's origin, involving Godzilla's DNA mutated by radiation in space, fits the bill. The name Zeus, as a codename, further suggested a god-tier antagonist, and SpaceGodzilla's confirmation now brings that speculation full circle. With its official credit locked in, accept excitement and expectations for Supernova to escalate leading into 2026. I don't know why it says leading into 2026, because the movie's not meant to come out until 2027. So Godzilla X Kong Supernova is scheduled to hit theaters on March 26th, 2027, with Grant Subtor directing. I've probably butchered his name, I can't remember how exactly you are supposed to pronounce that name. SpaceGodzilla will be interesting to see. I'll be honest with you, I didn't know a hell of a lot about SpaceGodzilla, especially he only actually made his debut in 1994, so he's not one of the kind of antagonists from all the way back in like the 50s or even the 60s, 70s or even the 80s. 1994 is when he made his debut in the movie Godzilla vs. SpaceGodzilla. If, of course, and what it does seem to be, that it's going to be SpaceGodzilla, I suppose the next question will be, will this movie be more Godzilla-centric than Kong-centric? Because that's the one thing. As soon as they did the Godzilla vs. Kong and then Godzilla X Kong, so Godzilla was kind of sidelined almost, and the focus really was Kong. And he was the one they kept following, and it was like, oh, Godzilla is going to have to come along at some stage, and you're like, This is weird. Why are you sidelining Godzilla? The fact that SpaceGodzilla could be the main villain for this movie, it does sound a bit more like they would lean more towards using or focusing more on Godzilla rather than Kong, which I'm not against. Personally, I think the two of them should have like equal amount of screen time. The one thing I remember going in to watch New Empire, and all the people were saying, oh, Godzilla's barely in this movie. He's like half the movie isn't even him. And no, he was pretty much in it, not from start to finish, but he was throughout the movie a lot. Not as much, obviously, as Godzilla or as Kong, but more than you were expecting from what people were saying about the, how much screen time he had. This sounds like it could be much more focused on him, especially seeing as Monarch Legacy Monsters is season 2 is going to be more focused on Kong again. So that is the weird thing where you're kind of looking at all these movies and now the shows and you're like, why are you moving away from Godzilla and focusing so much on King Kong? It's weird, especially when you're using things that should really focus on Godzilla. This sounds like it's going to do it. As I said, I'm not overly familiar with SpaceGodzilla. I know he's got this weird look, like he's like Godzilla but a bit fatter and got these weird crystal type things popping out of him. I don't think I've ever seen the Godzilla versus SpaceGodzilla movie. Yeah, I possibly did. I've seen so many of them, and I've seen so many of them out of order that sometimes the Godzilla was a good guy, sometimes he wasn't. It was like kind of all over the place. And I do like the fact, and of course they have spoken about this before as well, that we can get the insaneness and the big action set piece movies with Godzilla and Kong and stuff with the legendary movies, and then we can get the more serious and kind of more humanized stories with the other ones like Godzilla -1, which the next one is what's it called again? -0, isn't it? That's the next one, which I'm looking forward to as well. Hopefully that sticks the landing. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Of course, the question will be, will he be the only antagonist that shows up? Possibly, maybe not. We don't quite know. How much of a threat will he be? Don't know. I just hope they don't try and kill off like Godzilla or Kong, because it's like, don't kill off the two main boys. Like, that's stupid. We don't need you to kill them off. You can kill off the human character. Couldn't give a two shits about them. Eat them all you want. Except in King of the Monsters. It sucked to see, what was the doctor's name? The Asian dude. Can't even remember the actor's name. The guy who let them fight. Him. When he sacrificed him, that sucked. Because I liked his character. He was pretty much one of the only characters I really liked. Otherwise, I couldn't care less about the characters. But yeah, kill off the human characters. Don't kill off Godzilla. Don't kill off Kong. I wonder if Kong will have Mini Kong with him this time round. Because then that little monkey stick with him at the end of the last one. Pretty sure. Can't even remember what they call that little fella. Either way, it's going to be interesting to see what comes. And it does seem to be confirmed now that he is going to be the big bad SpaceGodzilla. So it'll be interesting now to see how long, if at all, does the director or the studio come out and confirm it. We'll find out. So what do you guys think? Are you excited to see SpaceGodzilla make his debut? I suppose American debut, because he debuted in the Japanese film back in '94. So let me know. And with that, I shall leave you there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know the drill. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.